So what do you guys think of Mod 16? Before I go off ranting and raving, what is your opinion of it? Because judging from all the Facebook comments, Jesus Christ, judging from all the YouTube comments I got, everyone has a very positive demeanor, and everyone is looking forward to it. I want to know, there's almost 80 people in the chat right now, what is your opinion on Mod 16 before I go off? Before I go off, what do you think? I know some of you already said you're looking forward to it. Like, you guys are pumped for it. Okay. What about everybody else? Oh my god, get these things away from me. I'm going to eat them all. So let's go ahead, let's read the chat here. Let's see what you guys are saying. Where do we start Mod 16? Mod 16, it's going to be a good one. Everyone else actually excited that Orca set will finally be fucking gone. I think it's one of the biggest mistakes they can make. Alright, Dark and Sky. Wonder how the class changes are going to be. Theo says it's going to be like a brand new game. BlackRock is looking forward to it. Ballystick says Neverwinter 2. Yeah, well, that's what I said. I said that it would be just Neverwinter 2 at this point. Max, it's positive because people are starving for... That's exactly right, Max. Max has it nailed right on the head. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Max has it exactly nailed right on the head. It's people are being positive because Mod 16, because everybody has been starved for content for so long. You're just worried about the imbalances. Cave Dog Hanley says, not sure, maybe good. Superstar says, you don't know how I feel about the new level cap. Quake Kid says 16 will be good if they can pull it off. If not, then it's dead. If Guard dies tonight, I'll be dead because I ate her Reese's. Good possibility of that happening. Let's just say I didn't plan to buy Zen until it drops. Morgan says, I want to know how bad they're going to fuck the enchants. Eclipse says it's something different. Low expectations, but I'm keeping an open mind. I put the city behind my back, says it's going to be a gigantic turd. Crit cap 50%, blah, blah, blah. Alright, so some of you are looking forward to the changes, and some of you already out of the gate think that it's going to be a big pile of dog shit. So I'm going to try to keep an open mind, but this is going to be very opinionated as I don't have any factual information, right? I'm not a alpha tester or beta tester or secret squirrel fucking jerk me off sideways tester. So I have no factual information and can only go off speculation and some insider chatter that I do have access to. But... so this is 100% opinionated, you know? This is why I didn't honestly want to put a video out right away, because I want to see the mod. I want Mod 16 on preview. That's not going to happen until March 1st, which is not this Friday, but it's the following Friday. And I want to see it with my own eyes before I make any radical decisions. But... am I looking forward to Mod 16 is everyone's major question. The answer to that is yes and no. Like Max said, and what I want to discuss, is everyone is so hyped about this. Everyone is ready for it. Everyone thinks they're positive changes, which they could very well be. But you have to keep in mind that this is Cryptic Studios that we're talking about. Their track record speaks for themselves. If you're a casual player to Neverwinter, if you're a brand new player to Neverwinter, then you have no relevance in this conversation whatsoever. If you're a veteran player, if you played the game as long as me, or if you even played the game anywhere from 3 years to 4 years to 5 years, then you're allowed to have an opinion. If anyone remembers back when Elemental Evil launched and the first level cap went to 70. So going from 60 to 70, and remember how big of a change it affected the game and all the shit show that came with it. Because, again, at the end of the day, it's still Cryptic Studios. It's still a bare bones development team, and the changes that they're introducing is of significant amount. And that's what worries me. My insider, I guess, if you want to call him, if you want to call my deep throat, alright, we'll call him Deep Throat. He said that these alpha testers or secret soil testers, they actually suggested legitimate feedback to the company. Now, the company did take some of the feedback and actually implement it into Mod 16. But a lot of the feedback they just disregarded. Because, again, at the end of the day, it's Cryptic Studios, and they are going to do whatever they want to do or what they deem necessary to do. So, I guess it's a win. I guess communication is a little bit better between the development teams and the select few people that they talk to now, I guess. On the overall community, fuck no. The communication is still dog shit. And it will continue to be dog shit. Now, I have my own personal source at Cryptic that I talk to frequently, so I'm not worried about that aspect of the things. But the communication between the development team and the overall community, not the secret testers or anyone that has an insider, but I'm talking about the overall general community. The communication is garbage, and it's always going to continue to be garbage, and that is because of the community manager. Developers should never directly correlate or even talk to players unless they are talking about development notes or something, or a development stream. That's how a development stream should be, not the current shit that we have. But the developers really have no business talking to the player base at all. They can read the forums and take feedback from players, but direct communication, that should never happen. That's why there's a community manager. That's her job. It's her job to take the questions and the concerns of the community, present them to the development team, and then the development team can retort, and then, you know, the community manager can then give us back that information. That's how it works. That's the process. But the development team should never talk to the community at all to begin with. Now, I mean, yeah, you could be friends with some of them or whatever. That's fine. But as far as game information goes, that should never be a concern anyway. It's Julia's job to take the development notes straight out of the development hands and then pass it on to us. So one of the major concerns with a lot of these testers are they want to have an open community. They want the company to be communicating with its player base. That's simply not going to happen because Julia can't do her job. So until they solve that problem, the communication between the company and the player base is null. It's never going to happen until they solve that problem. So getting back to Mod 16, you have to keep in mind, again, this is Cryptic Studios we're talking about. This is not Blizzard. You know, it's a bare bones team that is completely changing the game. This change is so significant of what they're doing. They're basically starting the game over again. That's what they're doing. And they've already slowly been doing this, right? They've already slowly have been working down this path with the Professions overhaul and previous changes they made in earlier mods. They've already going down this path. This is just the final knell. Well, I don't want to say the final, because this path is going to continue. Mod 16 is not the end of this, guys. This is going to continue. They're going to continue to make changes from here on out down the line until they have the game to where they want it. Now, again, Mod 16, yeah, you can be excited for it. Be hyped for it. But keep in mind that it is going to be a completely different game. Now, some of the testers jokingly say that the game is fine. You know, they're the ones that are testing it, and they're like, you're not even going to notice the difference, to be honest. You're still going to be able to do dungeons just as fast and blah, 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 blah. I won't believe anything until I have factual information in front of my face. So once it gets to preview, then I can form my own opinions on that as, you know, we'll see how the mod actually pans out. But Mod 16, again, significant changes to the game. They are basically starting the game all over at this point. A level cap increase, like I said, if you guys were around, if you're old enough to remember Elemental Evil and going from 60 to 70, how big of an impact that was. All level 60 gear became useless instantly. Instantly. Now, again, that is going to happen. All the gear we have right now, unless they change the gear that we currently have, which I highly doubt they will, it's going to all become obsolete. Everything. Every piece of gear that you have right now is going to be now obsolete. Because you need to get to max level, which is now going to be level 80, and then you need to get all the level 80 gear from here on out. So everything you currently have right now, unless they adjust the gear that you have, which they're not going to do. I highly doubt they're going to do it. You're going to have to grind from 70 to 80, which shouldn't be that big of a deal, to be honest, with the leveling changes that they've already made in the game. Depending on the total XP values going from 70 to 80, I don't think that's the problem. People are going to be level 80 within a matter of fucking a day, maybe. A day, maybe 2 days, depending on the XP values. If they make it really, really grindy, who knows? We don't know that yet. We don't know that yet. We don't know the process going from 70 to 80 yet. But chances are it's going to be easy. Now, they did talk about scaling in the developer blogs. However, I don't think that has anything to do with the current gear we have. They're talking about scaling going back in time. So once you get level 80, get all this brand new gear, and get all the level 80 gear. So if you would queue for like Cloak Tower or something, which is like a level 14 dungeon, they're talking about scaling backwards. You're not going to be able to go into Cloak Tower and just demolish everything. That's what I'm reading into when I read the scaling parts of the developer blog. So if you go and do any lower tier dungeon that is less than level 80, so that's going to be everything at this point, right? Everything is a level 70 dungeon that we have right now. So now, when you get to level 80 and get all that brand new shiny gear that's going to be best in slot at level 80, if you go and queue for Epic Temple of the Spiders to farm, they're going to scale your item level and your gear back to level 70. So all the new gear is going to be irrelevant, technically, unless you're doing brand new level 80 content. That's what they're talking about with the scaling feature. They're talking about downgrading you if you go back in time. Pimp Juice is fucking talking to me. I'm not fucking dealing with him. Here you go. Fuck you, Pimp Juice. Take my headset off. I'm trying to have a serious conversation. He's fucking chirping in my ear. Nope. So, Mod 16 again. Significant changes. That's just the tip of the iceberg, chat. That's just the tip of the dick. You want to talk about the classes now. Let's talk about the classes. So, they're completely overhauling... Oh, let's not jump into the classes. Let me make my whole point for this 10-minute speech that I'm on right now. So, Mod 16 are significant changes, right? The way I look at this is that if you're a casual player, or if you're a brand new player coming into the game, say you start the game in Mod 16, you're a brand new player. My overall point is that this is hurting the veteran player base more than anything else. And that has always been their goal. They will never be upfront with that, but I've been around the block so many times. I'm like a fucking prostitute. This is how companies work. They want to completely demolish any veteran base that they have left. Look at the Barovia situation. Look at that nonsense. How many people got permanent banned out of Barovia that were endgame players? Or how many people quit over that situation? They're fine with that. They want that to happen. They want people like me to quit the fucking game. Because they know a veteran player like myself is not buying Zen. I am self-sufficient. I never have to buy Zen for the next fucking 10 years if this game lasts 10 years. I never have to buy Zen ever again. Most veteran players, they're not buying Zen. That is a company aspect. Cryptic is a company. They need to make money. We go over this all the time. They need to meet quarterly profit margins. They hate veteran players. They've said numerous times that Neverwinter, the game itself, is not for a longevity veteran player to play. Neverwinter is a casual game that you're supposed to log in maybe once a day and only play for 2 or 3 hours. That's how Neverwinter is set up. That's why it caters to new players so much. That's why they have been continually doing these changes for the past several mods. Look at the refinement changes. Look at all the changes they've already done in the past. Maybe you guys just aren't paying attention. Maybe you guys don't know. Maybe you guys don't know how business works. That's exactly what they're doing. So all these people that are actually hyped for Mod 16, I don't want to say you're getting the wool pulled over your eyes or you're going into it being blind. I'm just saying, as a veteran player, you have to be careful with changes like this. You have two options. You have two options as a veteran player. You either quit the game and say, you know what, I've had enough of this, I'm done. Or you adapt to the changes. That's it. That's your options. Cryptic hates their veteran player base. They have always hated their veteran player base because we don't buy Zen. We don't need to. We're self-sufficient players. All these people that have millions upon millions of AD, they're not buying Zen to re-roll lockboxes, guys. That's not how it works. They're literally self-sufficient. They have the AD to buy the Zen from other players to roll thousands upon thousands of lockboxes every day. Now, that's not everyone. I saw Quake Kid in here. I saw that fucking old man Quake Kid. I guarantee Quake Kid still fucking spends money on this game. Everyone is not the same. I'm not trying to make a generalization and group every veteran player together. That's not the case. That's not the same. But a majority of veteran players do not buy Zen. That's a simple fact. I could look at the TLO Discord right now and tell you guys how many TLO players actually buy Zen at this point of the game. Because it's a very low number. I will buy Zen when I think Cryptic does something good for the game. Me personally, that's my own personal choice. I don't need to do that. I don't need to buy Zen. But when Cryptic does something good, I feel obligated as a player that I donate money to them, right? That's basically what it is. It's just like you guys subbing to my channel or donating to me. You're donating for the content or the entertainment that I'm providing you. So Cryptic, it's a free-to-play game. Their only revenue stream is when people buy Zen. So when Cryptic actually does something positive that I feel is worth me actually giving them money, I do, and I've always done that. The last time that I bought Zen, I'll tell you guys, the last time I bought Zen is when the loadouts went live. The loadouts were a significant feature in the game that I personally felt should have been in the game from the beginning, to be honest. But when they introduced these loadouts, this was a significant change to the game when they did loadouts. And I was a firm believer, and this is an amazing system. The loadout system is hands down an amazing system, which is basically going to be null, I guess, in Mod 16. Are you going to need loadouts in Mod 16 with only 2 Paragon Pass? Who fucking knows, boys? Who knows? Because let's see, I have 4 to 5 different loadouts. With only 2 Paragon Pass, what are you going to need loadouts for? You only need 2 loadouts, and you get 1 loadout for free when you get to level 30. Just saying. But that's the last time that I personally bought Zen. The last time that I personally bought Zen is when the loadout system went live. I didn't donate a whole shit ton of money, but I gave them a substantial amount of money, and I'm a firm believer in that. It's a free-to-play game. The only revenue source they have is when players buy Zen. And that's my overall point, especially for veteran players, which my point is going to continue to roll on here in a second. So with the veteran player base, Cryptic hates veteran players, right? That's just a fact. They do. Neverwinter is a casual game. You're only supposed to play Neverwinter 2 hours a day. Not like me that plays 8 hours a day. That's not how it's meant to be played or set up. Like I said, look at the past changes. Look at the refinement changes. Look at all the changes they've done. The Mod 16 is going to bring continual changes to cater to casual players and new players coming into their game. Because, again, that's their revenue stream. They need people to keep coming into the game to buy Zen. That's the simple fact. That's the business aspect and the undoubtable factual information that no one in the channel right now can argue with. It's a simple fact that Cryptic, to survive, needs revenue. They need money. In a free-to-play title, the only way they get revenue is from the Zen store. So, Mod 16, these significant changes affect the veteran player base 10 times more than Johnny No Thumbs or Timmy the Scrub that is just either a casual player and isn't an endgame player already, or, you know, a brand new player coming into the game has no relevance whatsoever because they're going to have no recollection of anything pre-Mod 16 anyway. So that's my feelings right now going into Mod 16, just up front, just even that. Because what are they... Someone commented on my Mod 16 video that had a very valid point. They said, what are they going to do for the veteran players now that they're making all these changes? How much money have you guys personally spent trying to get best in slot in this current system, and then, in a blink of an eye, all that progress is pretty much gone? Like I said, the level cap increase alone, that wipes out every single fucking piece of gear that we currently have in the game. Hands down. That gear is not going to be scaled to level 80. I'm a firm believer in that. I could be wrong. Doesn't matter. That gear is not going to be scaled. Everything that we have right now will ultimately become obsolete, period. Because you need to get to level 80, which is the max level, and then get all the new level 80 gear. That's all there is to it. So as a veteran player, you spent X amount of money, or again, if you never spent money, time equals money. If you've never spent any money on Neverwinter, but you spend 8 hours a day, time equals money. So, sorry, and Cryptic isn't going to do anything. They are not going to do one single thing for the veteran player base. I guarantee that. I guarantee that Cryptic would rather have you, as a player, quit the game than actually adjust to the new changes and, you know, try to play your character. They rather you just quit. Because you're not buying Zen anyway. You are not an asset to them. They don't give two shits about you, my friend. And that's the sad fact. That's how business works. That's how business works. So, simple facts is, you know, Mod 16 for the veteran player base, that's a big rip in the chat, boys. You're either going to adjust to the changes and continue to play the game anyway, or you're gonna quit the game. You're finally going to toss in the towel and say, you know what, I worked for... How long has it been out on PlayStation now? 3 years on PlayStation, is that right? Neverwinter came out on PlayStation 3 years ago already? I think that's right. So you're a PlayStation 4 player. You put 3 years and X amount of money or in time into this game, and then in a blink of a second... Sorry. Sorry. Grind out to level 80. Now, the thing is that I don't have a problem with this. But the personal problem that I have with this is that this should have happened years ago already. This is an MMO, and MMOs need to progress, right? I don't have a problem with them increasing the level cap. The problem I have is that this should have happened like 2 years ago. Back when Fangbreaker Island was around. Mod 10, Storm King's Thunder, that's when level 70 should have went to level 80. And then they should have continued the changes throughout time for the past, you know, when did Mod 10 come out? Mod 10 came out like, what, two or 3 years ago already? So they're very behind. So now all of a sudden you have a 5-year-old game, Neverwinter, been around 5 years. 5 years. That is still young in the MMO world. 5 years is not a long time for an MMO. That's still young in its life cycle. However, they are very extremely slow at this point with the progression that they have done. I feel personally we should be level 100 by now. Right? Maybe not. Maybe level 90, 5-year game right now, maybe level 90, maybe even level 80. But we should have definitely had level 80 like a while ago. And here's the thing. Here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. They did all of these changes in Mod 16. I'm talking about the class balancing, the level increase. All of these changes are coming because they can't fix a lot of the things that they've already broken in the game. I actually talked about this on stream a month and a half ago. Maybe almost 2 months ago. Do you guys remember when we discussed class balancing on the channel? We already discussed class balancing on the channel. It was either a month and a half or almost 2 months ago. I think it was back in December. And what did I tell you guys? What did I tell you guys almost 2 months ago that Cryptic had to do to actually balance the classes? I said, and I self-quote myself, that the only thing that Cryptic can do to completely balance the classes is they have to wipe out everything and start over again. That's the only thing that they could do to completely balance the classes. And what did they do? They practically did it. I don't know what the extent is because I haven't personally seen it yet. But what did they do? Essentially that. Because they can't fix all the broken mechanics and the broken things that they've done to the class balances over the past several years, they just wiped the slate clean. So 3 feat trees, whatever you want to call them, two paragons per class and 3 feat trees. Nah, they wiped one of those out. They're gone. They're gone. Now you have 2 feat trees or something. I don't know. I don't even know what the exact system is going to look like. Same thing with all the powers. Apparently they're all wiped. I guess they're all new. I don't know. I don't have the factual information to form a general opinion on the class balances right now. But mark my words, that's what I said needed to happen. And I said that almost 2 months ago. I said all these changes and balances, it doesn't matter because they were writing code on top of code on top of code on top of code. And if you know anything about coding, that doesn't work. You can't write on top of old code. That's where you get bugs. That's where you get things that stop working. And that's what they did because they had 2 or 3 developers working on classes, and those developers left the company. So now you have a new developer coming in trying to balance these classes from an old system, and it just rinsed that cycle 3 times, I think. I think it's been 3 times with 3 separate developers that were initially working on class balancing. Well, you know what? They had enough of it. They said, you know what? Screw this noise. And I guess they wiped them. I don't think they completely wiped them to the degree of what they should have been. But I believe this class balance is going to be a significant change to the game. Just because they are essentially starting the classes all over again. They're going back to the Holy Trinity, the removing of lifesteal and recovery. They want DCs to be a DC. You are going to be healing your party. Your party is going to need healing because they are not going to be self-sufficient anymore. Simple as that. There's no lifesteal. Which angers me to a degree because me personally, I like to solo dungeons, right? How many times have you seen me guys solo Kessels or Shores or Epic Temple just because I'm bored? What's the chances I'm going to be able to do that anymore? Highly improbable without lifesteal, to be honest. Even if I run the healing spec that is proposed for the Warlock, well, my DPS might not be high enough to actually kill anything, but I'll be able to heal myself, I guess. So I don't know. I'm personally curious to see the balances myself, especially for Warlock. I'm curious to see how it's going to affect me as a player, as well as in a group setting. Now, like I said, they're going back to the Holy Trinity. That's all there is to it. Their solution for the power creep and everything else that is wrong in the current game right now, their solution was, screw you guys, we're wiping the system out to a degree, and we're going to redo this, and we're going to do it the way that we think it should be, right? I'm fine with the current game. I know a lot of you are so bored with the game. There's nothing to do, and blah, 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 blah. There's nothing to do. I like where I'm at. I like being an OP endgame warlock that can essentially solo dungeons. I enjoy that. Now, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get the same enjoyment factor. Am I going to have to take people with me? I can't solo dungeons anymore. I don't know. I don't have the factual information right now. I can't make or form an opinion on that until I actually see it firsthand. So as far as the class balances go, that is a huge, huge deal. The days of running, like I said, 1 DPS and 4 support characters, which me personally, I don't have a problem with. I don't have a problem with that. Like I said, a lot of people in the chat might want to go to that Holy Trinity system because maybe the class you play gets left out or something. I don't know. Maybe you guys don't like being severely overpowered and you don't like steamrolling through I like that. That's me personally. That doesn't have to be you necessarily. If you want to have a traditional MMO with a tank, a healer, and 3 DPS, that's your personal feelings on the matter. Me, I prefer steamrolling the fuck out of content, boys. Who doesn't want to be super OP and have a super OP meta group and do Cradle in 10 minutes? That's me personally. You guys may have different feelings on that. That's completely fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I would love for you to share your opinions on that right now in the chat. There's nothing wrong with that. If you think the Holy Trinity system is going to be better in Mod 16 than what we have right now, you're going to be, unfortunately, sadly mistaken. Dungeons are definitely going to take longer. It doesn't matter if you're an endgame group and you have a tank, a healer, and 3 DPS. Dungeons are going to theoretically take longer because of that system. The power share, the power creep, that's going to be slowed down severely to a degree. You're going to add some minutes to your dungeon runs. That's for certain. That's how it's going to work. So doing 4-minute Epic Temple with the Spiders, now that's going to be considered old content and you're going to scale down to that content level, I don't know. Maybe Spider's going to take 6, 7, 8, 10 minutes. Is that really that big of a deal? No, not at all. But I'm just saying, I want you guys to realize that of having that system into play and having the Holy Trinity system into play is that you need to actually rely on your group, right? That's okay. I mean, I consider myself a majority of a solo player, but now I'm going to have to, rely on my group a lot more. DCs are actually going to get bitched at now, you're right? DCs are actually going to get bitched at for legitimate reasons now. Because, oh, you didn't heal me? Oh, you didn't heal the tank? This is why our group wiped 16 times because we got a shit can DC over here that won't heal us. Get prepared for that because that's going to happen, especially if you play a DC. Get ready for that. If you're not on top of your game and you're not healing your group in the most minute dungeons, if you're doing Castle Never and you're not fucking healing your group, guess what? You're going to get bitched at. And that's the same thing for the tank. The tank doesn't have aggro. Why does the DPS have aggro when we have a dedicated tank? That's just things that I'm telling you guys to look forward to. Because that's going to happen. And the same thing can even be said about the DPS. Why is this dungeon taking us 20 minutes? Oh, because fucking Timmy over here, DPS, isn't fucking doing anything. His damage numbers are garbage. Boot him out of the group. Get someone else. Oh, the DC's not healing up to our specifications. Boot the DC out of the group. Get a DC that's going to heal us. That's what's going to happen. That's what happens with the Holy Trinity system. You're expected to play your role, and if you don't play your role, then get the fuck out. They're going to get someone that's going to play their role. It is what it is, boys. It is what it is. I don't really have to, like I said, I don't have a lot of rants. I know a lot of you expect me just to cut into this, and I can't. I can't form an opinion on Mod 16 until I see it firsthand. I can't do it. I'm not going to just talk out of my ass and say, yeah, Cryptic suck my dick, this is horrible changes and it's going to completely ruin the game. I can't say that. For all I know, this could turn Neverwinter around, and Neverwinter could become so popular that, hey, maybe the game will turn around, maybe Cryptic will start making more money, maybe they can hire more developers, and then, you know, it's just an endless hill rolling at that point, right? I mean, that's the best case scenario. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm a very pessimistic person. You guys know that. I don't think that's going to happen at all. I think Mod 16 is either going to make or break this game. Period. Mod 16 is the defining point of Neverwinter. 100%. You cannot disagree with that statement. Mod 16 is either going to turn Neverwinter around and some of the veteran players might even come back to the game, or they're going to draw so much popularity that they're going to get, you know, a whole new player base again. A lot of new players will come migrate into the game and blah, blah, blah. Or Mod 16 is going to go horribly wrong and Neverwinter will actually fucking die. Mod 16 is most definitely the defining point of this game right now. It's either make or break. For sure. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else you guys want me to say, honestly. I mean, do you guys have any more opinions about it? That's the way I see it, and that's where I'm at currently. So when people ask me, am I looking forward to Mod 16? I mean, yeah, right? I mean, we have Undermountain, right? And we have 5 new zones, apparently. I don't know how many more dungeons that's going to be, but we have 5 new maps that they're calling adventure zones. So I'm assuming that's 5 more maps total, not including dungeons. So Mod 16 is going to be a very, very big module. As well as the campaign. We'll have the new Mod 16 campaign. Could be multiple campaigns. We don't know yet. Nova actually made an interesting point in his video. He said that each one of the new maps is going to have its own currency and own sills and everything else. Now, he's a tester, so that's the thing with Nova, is he's putting these videos out doing speculation, but he already knows the answers. He's in the testing. He already knows the answers, but he continues to put out these videos of him speculating on what's going to happen. And he mentioned in his video that in these 5 new maps, it could be possible that each one of these maps is going to have its own set of currency with its own set of sills and blah, blah, blah. That could be factual information. That could be a secret leak, or he could just be lying and actually speculating. I don't understand why Nova continues to put these videos out as speculation videos, but he already knows the answer. He must be doing it for views. I don't know. I don't care. He can do whatever he wants, but it baffles me that he can try to make a speculation video and talk to his audience speculating about content when in reality he already knows the answers. So Mod 16, yeah, I mean, am I looking forward to it? I'm always looking forward to the next module, because at the end of the day it is new content, period. It's new content, period. And for veteran players like me that have nothing to do, there you go. There's something to do. I have been asked a lot, am I going to quit when Mod 16 comes out? I firmly cannot answer that. Again, not until I see factual, concrete information. When it gets on preview and I start playing it on preview, and when I start doing my thorough testing on preview, especially the Warlock testing and everything else, when I do my thorough testing and get a look at this stuff and see, then I can form some kind of conclusions. If I honestly don't like the direction that the game's doing, maybe it's finally time I retire. It's a possibility. It really is. It's a possibility. If Mod 16 comes out and it's a completely different game, I could adapt and just take it on the chin, right? Just like all the other veteran players are going to have to do. Or maybe I retire finally. I won't know for sure until I see it firsthand. So that's how I'm going to answer that question. That question actually came up a lot, either in DMs or on Twitter or on YouTube. What are you going to do when Mod 16 comes out, Gar? Are you going to finally quit the game, or are you going to play it? Or, I mean, the basic answer to that is yes, I'm going to give it a chance, right? I'm gonna give Mod 16 a chance, but if I don't like what I see or the direction that the game's going in, I don't know. I can't give a definitive answer right now, guys. I just can't do that. Not until I see it firsthand. So, what else can we talk about? I mean, that's Mod 16. I pretty much that's my saltiness. That's the only saltiness you're gonna get out of me. Cryptic hates the veteran player base. The veteran player base is going to get fucked in the ass. And there you go. There you go. What's the future of Neverwinter at this point? Now that they are completely overhauling the entire game, basically, at this point, with the new class balances, the new module, what else is left at this point? Companions. There was a lot of speculation and rumors and leaks about the companion system, about how you're only going to have one active companion now instead of 5. It's possible. That's a possible situation that might not be coming in Mod 16, or it might be in Mod 16. If it doesn't come in Mod 16, I could see that happening down the line. They are trying to basically reboot the entire game. That's their end goal at this point. They want Neverwinter completely rebooted. So that having the 5 active companions is just another power creep factor, right? Like, that's overpowered. Having 5 active companions is overpowered. What's the solution to that? You take them away. And then again, you have to look at the veteran player base and say, well, Cryptic, I've grinded for X amount of time, or I put X amount of money into the game to get 5 best-in-slot companions, and then level all those companions to legendary. What are you going to do for me? And the answer to that is nothing. They will do nothing for you. That's what they will do. They will say, well, sorry about it. These are the changes we're going with, and this is how it's going to be from now on. I could see that change happening, guys. If the leaks aren't true and it doesn't happen in Mod 16 with the companions, I could see those changes happening down the line. They will take all the companions away, and you will only get one summoned companion. That's it. That's all you get. You can still use your bondings on it, and the companion gear and all that stuff will be functional, but you won't have the 5 active companions. They'll just take them away. So what else is down the line at this point? Mythic mounts? Mythic gear? Level 80s on the table now? What else are they going to progress? What else are they going to change to draw new players into the game that ultimately is going to make the company money? Because, keep in mind, I've said it 1,000 times, that it's a company. Their only goal is to make money. It's not about their player base. It's not about you as an individual player. It's not about if you're a casual player, a new player, or a veteran player. They don't care about you. They only care about statistics and their profit margins. That's how free-to-play games work. Everything is designed in a free-to-play game to make an individual spend money at some point. That's all there is to it. That's just business. Any free-to-play game that's usually out there has some kind of mechanic in it that it is going to draw you in to open your wallet, because the company gave you this game and all this content for free. Well, they still need to make profit. They still need to make revenue. The biggest example I can give is look at Fortnite. Fortnite is a 100% free game, and how much money has Fortnite made? How much money has Epic Games made off of Fortnite for cosmetic items? You can play Fortnite completely free and do as well as someone that spent $100,000 on the game. Because every item in Fortnite is cosmetic only. But you don't have to buy it. You can log into Fortnite, play Fortnite as a completely free player with the base skin, and beat someone that has dropped thousands of dollars in the game on all these skins. But Epic Games did it so well that they enticed their players that, hey, these outfits are fucking awesome. Open your wallet and give us money. How many millions upon millions upon millions of dollars has Epic Games made off a free-to-play game? Now, we're talking about apples and oranges here because obviously Fortnite is a FPS Battle Royale game and, you know, this is an MMO. But the overall thing for any free-to-play game, it's completely revolved around getting the player base to open their wallet. That's a simple fact. That's business. That's literally just simple facts. So that is what it is, guys. I mean, maybe we'll do videos down the road. I'm probably just going to rip this stream off and upload this stream to YouTube. So everyone say hello to YouTube because I'm not going to make a separate video on this. I know a lot of the my YouTube community wanted me to do a salty, ranty video explaining my personal feelings on Mod 16. Well, here it is. I'm just going to upload this section of this stream directly to YouTube. So if you watched it here already, I would appreciate it if you watched it again over on YouTube because Daddy Gar needs that ad revenue, baby. So that's all I really have to say right now for Mod 16. It's all speculation other than the definitive concrete evidence that we have in the developer blogs. And until I see it actually firsthand on preview, maybe we'll make a... I mean, we're going to do more videos regardless. I'm going to cover Mod 16 thoroughly off of preview up until live. So that's our discussion for the day. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I know it was not as ranty or as salty as you guys wanted it to be, but that's just the sheer facts. I'm not going to be salty or angry at the company just yet. Just yet. There's still possibilities. Don't you worry. Like I said, this is still Cryptic Studios we're talking about. Don't you worry. If they fuck this mod up, this game is dead. And you better believe there'll be some YouTube videos made on that. So anyway, if you're watching this on YouTube, thanks for watching. That's my feelings on it. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're new here. And thumbs up the video if you like it. Hey, if you didn't like it, leave me a thumbs down. But just remember, you're allowed to have your own personal opinion. This video was solely based on my personal opinion. There was actually some factual information in there, especially with the business aspects of it. But most of this was opinionated. You're allowed to have your own opinion, guys. Don't let anyone discourage you. If you were looking forward to Mod 16, then be hyped about it. If you have an opinion on it, leave me a comment below. And I'll see you guys in the next video.